Hi, everybody. This is Jackie. We had a wonderful Zoom call, support call today, and we were exchanging back and forth, trying to help everybody to get back on track because spring is here and summer's coming, and you don't want to be uncomfortable with your clothes. And you want to feel good in the heat. You don't want to feel, like you're just struggling along. So at this time, women can lose from 3 to 4 pounds of adipose tissue every week. Men can lose a good up to 5 pounds a week. And so that means good 10, 15 pounds for women and 20 pounds for men. Now, we don't care about pounds. It's really about inches. But the greatest thing to learn about right now is CLA. So I'm going to show you a little video, and I'll come into about the middle of it so I can show you where to get it. But this is extremely important. And you know how some people are audio visual learners, some people can read a study, who's got the time, but sometimes it still doesn't make much sense. I think this will really tell you why you should be taking CLA twice a day. Then I'm going to show you where to get it, okay?
CLA is vital to our health and needed by our body to help keep fat cells from becoming larger and larger. It is a body fat blocker that has many benefits. To explain what CLA is and why it has become so popular, we need to take a moment to tell you a story. The story begins. Centuries ago in ancient Greece and Egypt, there were very few reports of overweight people. Back then, we ate and drank from the cattle that ate nature's grass. This is when we can find that heart problems were a non-existent rate of 0%. That's right, 0%. And while cancer had been discovered, the American Cancer Society states that not even 1/4% of the population had cancer. Even if we fast forward to the 1900s, heart problems still isn't a huge number, but it is reported to be around 10% by mid-century, as reported by Healthline. During the early 1900s, weight problems aren't reported as much of the population still has trim bodies. Around 1900, cancer-related deaths are still at near 0%. Why? We still haven't begun grain-feeding cattle, so there is no industrialized fatty acid in the body yet. The world is still safe because cows still eat nature's grass. Entering the 21st century, the number of grain-fed cattle shot up astronomically as dairy farmers moved away from grass-feeding cows to force-feeding them chemically charged grains with unnatural synthetic hormones used as growth stimulants. The number of chemically charged grain-fed cattle has skyrocketed in the last 50 years. Around the same time, coincidentally, according to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, 69% of adults in America are either overweight or heavier. That's 159,317,688 people. What a coincidence. As soon as we stopped feeding cows grass and started force feeding them chemically charged hormone grains, more than 159 million Americans were reported to be overweight or even heavier. This may have also caused over 30 million Americans to have high blood sugar levels, as reported on diabetic.org, and 85 million to have heart problems, as reported by the CDC. Also, multiple research recorded by the NIH show that since CLA may hold back cancer-producing cells, the lack of CLA in the hormone-driven grain-fed cattle may be one of the reasons why 13.5 billion people live with cancer. It's a living nightmare where 2 out of every 3 people we know are overweight or even heavier, and it may be because of chemicals fed to the cows. In the past 50 years, the way farmers have fed and raised their cattle has changed. Most cows are no longer raised out on the range where they can feed off grassy pastures. The farms have become industrialized factories where the cows stand shoulder to shoulder while getting fed filler and grains in huge troughs. What is in the filler and grains, you ask? You don't really want to know everything. but we will let you in on a few items. The filler includes animals, including roadkill, feathers, hair, skin, hooves, and blood, drugs and chemicals such as growth hormones, plastics, grains that should never be fed to cows, and even manure and other animal waste. So why have the dairy industry stopped eating cows' grass and converted to grains, you ask? The answer lies in the New York Times article entitled Power Steer, where it was reported using hormone in beef cattle is legal and financially irresistible. Hormones in grains cost $1.50 and add between 40 and 50 pounds to the weight of the steer at slaughter. So by spending $1.50, the dairy industry have an extra 40 to 50 pounds of cow to sell us while we suffer from all the toxic fat that these grain-fed cows produce. The dairy farmers do not want you to know that by using unnatural hormones in their grains, they only spend $1.50 and they have an extra 40 to 50 pounds of cow to sell us while we all suffer from the toxic fat that these grain-fed cows produce. This brings up a lot of issues, but we'll just share with you what exactly this has to do with CLA. CLA is conjugated linoleic acid that is a good fatty acid found largely in beef and dairy products. A group of scientists at the University of Wisconsin were wondering what kind of health issues would be associated with this style of cattle raising, since most farmers in America have stopped feeding cows nature's grass and turned to hormone-driven grains to gain more profits. Upon researching this idea, it was discovered that there was less CLA naturally manufactured within the cows on grain than on grass. If that was the case, how much did that affect humans? These nice gentlemen decided to look into this a little further. When checking out what all CLA could do for us, the scientists found out that it was actually quite important to a human's health. CLA may help maintain blood sugar levels. It's great for heart health, it supports the immune system, and it may improve bone health. It was also observed during their research of CLA the effect it has on body composition. They were using pigs for the research, and while recording the process, they saw that the pigs were getting leaner. They were actually experiencing leaner muscles and less fat in their bodies. This helped the scientists realize that CLA was making that happen. Unfortunately, they weren't sure why CLA was making that happen to the pigs. Well, since pigs are close to us in physiology, then perhaps the same thing would happen with humans. This discovery set off a slew of research that would concentrate on what CLA could do for people. Well, these researchers examined different variables and came up with varying conclusions. The one consistent finding was that CLA may help people lose body fat. Among the research most cited is a Norwegian research study published in the Journal of Nutrition in 2000. It found that CLA helped reduce body fat and preserved muscle tissue in overweight people who did not change their diet. According to the research project manager, individuals in the CLA group lost more body fat on average as compared to those in the placebo group. Another research study published in the Journal of Internal Medicine Research said that CLA reduced body fat in healthy exercising humans of normal body weight. Research in the International Journal of Obesity showed that CLA reduced abdominal fat in overweight men, and Louisiana State University scientists showed a significant reduction in the body fat of male mice who were fed CLA over a period of 6 weeks. Further research completed by Scandinavian Clinical Research in Keller, Norway, took a look at CLA and body weight. Male and female volunteers who used CLA were a mix of healthy and overweight. The participants' body fat mass decreased while their lean body mass increased on the CLA supplements. This was reported in the article, Conjugated Linoleic Acid Supplementation Reduces Body Fat Mass in Healthy Overweight Humans, in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition. Yet another research study published in 2001 in Lipids, led by scientists Smedman and Vespi, investigated CLA's effects on humans and discovered that out of 53 men and women studied, the ones that were on CLA had a decrease in body fat as the muscles grew leaner. This research was 12 weeks long. Body fat decreased in those that took the supplement as opposed to those that took the olive oil placebo that had no reaction whatsoever. How is this possible? When fat enters the bloodstream, CLA can help block the small fat cells from becoming bigger and bigger and break the large fat cells into smaller pieces so they can be burned into energy and muscle mass. This will reduce the amount of fat in the body. CLA actually enhances the productivity of an enzyme in the muscles so that CLA can burn more fat. That in turn gives us a chance to be trimmer. As a result of the interaction of CLA in the bloodstream, we have a whole host of benefits that we can reap.
So this is CLA. And CLA is something that we should be taking twice a day. We don't all eat red meat, but if you're a type O blood, you're going to do great on red meat. If you're type B blood, you're going to do okay on red meat. If you're type A blood, you don't always do so good if you're into blood typing. However, sometimes you just feel like you need a piece of red meat, and the more protein, the better. That's extremely important for our immune systems, to keep our blood sugar regulated, as well as to help us to stay strong and lose fat. So
CLA
what I'm
may
going
help
to
the
do
heart.
here
Research over the years
is
has shown
turn
that
this off, and I'm going to show you all where to get it. So I'm going to share the screen again. And this is our website. A lot of people don't know exactly where to get the workbook or the, the paperback book, or Flesh or Fat for Good book, or even the CLA GLA. So I want to let you know that we have pricing, VIP access, where the recipes and you can watch us cooking in the kitchen. We'll go through a whole a Zoom on that. I think we should. We have our Power One Heroes coaches. Here is the store. Okay, go to the store. When you hit go to the storefront's going to come up, and you'll be able to see the books, coaches, courses that we have if you'd like to take a coaching course, and membership, as well as rental via video rentals if you don't want to become a VIP member. But if you do get the starter pack, which is really amazing, you get the free VIP, and you get to see all the cooking in the kitchen and the recipes and all the interviews and all that sort of thing. Here's the Getting Started pack right here. This is Getting Started 1, where you have the 2 books, the workbook, the book, the CLA, GLA, and all the charts. I have these charts up in my kitchen. This is Getting Started 2, where you don't get the paperback book, which has all the science in it, but it's your workbook, which is great. Now, here's the CLA, and you can get a monthly subscription of it, which, because of the shipping in America right now, because of everything, it's pretty, sketchy. So to be able to have a monthly subscription, and it's always going to be sent out at the same time, that's good. Because if you wait till you're at your last pill and then you want to order, not so good. If you go down here, you'll see the bundle. And next week, I'll put up a little Zoom, maybe even sooner than that, about GLA. So here's a combo, which is on a monthly subscription, or just over here if you want to get the GLA by itself. But then again, what you just learned about the CLA, I think it's a no-brainer. So I'm going to stop sharing here. I want to thank you for listening in. I am so sorry, Juanita, that the recording did not go off like we planned. But from now on, I set up the Zoom conference support calls to always be recorded no matter what. So everybody, every Tuesday, if you have any questions or you need support or you're feeling isolated or you're alone and you just don't even know where to start, you want to come and get back on track, then by all means, just join us, because it's a place where you can talk about what you're upset about, that you've gained some weight, or that you're not feeling good, or you don't know how to get back started, whatever. We'll just work it with you. And everybody's here to help you and support you. So anyway, thanks for listening. And I look forward to seeing you again. And please don't forget, every Tuesday, 5 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, we are getting back on track. Okay, thanks.